This is a Roomba. This is a Roomba. Its only job is to vacuum your house without you. This is a Roomba. Now, this, is not a Roomba. The same company that makes the Roomba vacuum cleaner also makes military-grade versions of the same basic idea. Machines that can do stuff at your direction and can also do stuff without you. In this case, it's sort of a dictionary-sized thing on treads that can run over broken window frames or take pictures, spy on a bad guy who doesn't know that you're there, go downstairs, falling down, collapse, crumble, and get itself going again. So there's civilian technology, right? And there is military technology. There's the Roomba, and there is the throwable iRobot 110. The big technological advance in the civilian world today was the new all-electric vehicle from Chevy, the Spark. There's already the Chevy Volt, which is an electric vehicle that also has a gas engine. But the Spark, due out the year after next, it's all electric, baby. GM made its first electric vehicle in 1996, but they are finally getting one to market by 2013-ish. So this is the civilian world's new car today. This, on the other hand, is the military's new car today. The military's new car today does not need a driver. It is a drone that drives itself over land. It's a heavily armored vehicle. It can carry more than 1,000 pounds. You can control it with your voice. So you say to it, turn right, or turn left, and it turns right or turns left. If you are not voice controlling it or remote controlling it, this thing can drive itself. It can find its own way. If it has taken a route before, it remembers it and can replicate it. It is an autonomous motor vehicle that can accompany humans on patrol and that stops when you yell stop at it. When the Army gets a new car, that's the kind of new car the Army gets. Elsewhere in military tech advancement is the exoskeleton. Not for sci-fi films, but so that you can run and jump and lift heavy stuff and not get tired and generally have superhuman strength and endurance because you're wearing an exoskeleton. You want to get over a fence? The military has some technology for that will blow your mind. Do you need an overland creature smaller than that driverless vehicle and unconnected to a soldier in order to move over land or to get something moved over land? How about this thing that they have nicknamed a dog? Scary, cool, can't decide. This thing now comes in a larger size, too. This is the prototype. It's called the Alpha Dog prototype for the Legged Squad Support System, nicknamed the LS3. Again, both amazing and sort of terrifying. We've all gotten used to the idea of flying robot planes that kill people now. Drone aircraft, right? The next thing we will learn about drone aircraft is that they're going to be the size of bugs. And again, they will operate independently. The bug will go on its own and know where it's going. So, in the civilian world, this month we got some new models of the iPhone. It's got a better camera and stuff. And there's that upgrade to the 1996 electric car that's going to come out in a couple of years. Seems awesome. But think about the trajectory in military technology. To go from the hoopty Humvees that we sent to Iraq in 2003, where American soldiers are bolting scrap metal onto the doors and the floors to function as some sort of fake armor. The distance we went from those to the new generation of mine-resistant vehicles, the MRAPs we've got now with their V-shaped holes and their fully armored chassis. You know somebody who's been deployed recently? Ask them how they felt driving around a war zone in the new MRAPs. Do you know somebody deployed early in the wars? Ask them to compare the MRAPs now to what they started with. Think about the distance the military has traveled from the Vietnam-era flak jackets we sent early on to Iraq and Afghanistan, to not just the high-tech body armor that we have now, but the freaking exoskeletons that are on the way. Don't just tell me that the amazing distance traveled between old technology and new technology is about, the magic of the for-profit private market that operates in the defense contractor world. I mean, even the most profitable private industry on earth, oil companies, when they've got a spill, their big tech idea for cleaning up their oil spill is basically paper towels, napkins, right? The same idea they had in the 1970s is still what they use today. Private industry does not equal amazing technological innovation. So this is not a hypothetical. What in the past decade has produced observably amazing technological innovation you can measure in leaps and bounds, unimaginable innovation in manufacturing in the United States of America. What has produced that in the last decade is you, specifically your money. Hundreds of billions of dollars. and taxpayer money, public investment. And the fact that it is all for fighting wars, of course, really changes the politics around it. But are there lessons to be learned for building ourselves out of the economic disaster we're in from the way that we became a country that could build this guy? Joining us now is a man who knows a thing or two about high tech, the nuclear physicist who beat IBM's computer at Jeopardy, Congressman Rush Holt of New Jersey. Congressman Holt, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Rachel, always good to be with you.
Do you think there is a lesson to be learned from the leaps and bounds we have experienced in military tech over the last 10 years fighting these two wars that can be applied to revitalizing what we invent and what we make in the civilian world?
Well, sure. The lesson is that research and development pay off. They pay off big, not just in nifty devices, not just in better understanding of our universe, but really in dollars and cents and jobs. It is our seed corn. It is the engine for innovation. You can describe it various ways. But the investment in research, economists will argue whether you get a 2-to-1 return on your dollar or a 75% return, whatever it is, it's huge. You never know exactly what it's going to be, which is why sometimes it's hard to sustain. It's hard to sustain the support for it. And in fact, over the last 4 decades, the federal investment in research, the government spending on research, has, as measured by as a percentage of our gross domestic product, has fallen by about 2/3. Now, defense has stayed pretty flat during that time. So what it means is the civilian R&D has fallen quite a bit. The slashers in Washington, the budget slashers, are saying, well, but the private industry has grown during that period. But not enough to make up for the loss in the federal spending. And furthermore, the private industry, as you were saying, just doesn't do sometimes as well or the same things that have been done with federal support.
Because defense has had almost no budgetary, really not even almost, defense has had no budgetary constraint whatsoever for most of my lifetime, particularly for the last 10 years. And some of that is understandable because we've been in 2 big wars, neither of which is over. Because they've had essentially unlimited funds, you can sort of see what a maximalist investment in defense can produce. And I do think there will be some civilian uses for some of these kinds of things, these gee whiz things that we've been talking about in this segment. But I wonder if we should be cautious about extrapolating from the military example, because there's some things that the military just does better than other sectors can do. Are they particularly good at this?
Well, the military spends a lot more on development than on research, more on the D than the R. And so, but they do a lot of other things too. I mean, they certainly help the warfighter, the soldier, do the job more safely, more efficiently. Now, not all products of research are equally helpful to people. I mean, just because we're able to kill people remotely more efficiently doesn't mean that we as a country should do that. But the Defense Department has maintained a research budget and is one of the principal research funders for breast cancer, for ovarian cancer, for prostate cancer. It is one of the biggest funders for computer science and engineering research. So there are a lot of other things that come out of the defense. It's probably not the most efficient way to improve people's lives because some of that research is kept secret. It makes it, if scientists can't communicate freely, they can't be as innovative. So the lessons that we can learn from defense research and development are limited, but they're real. And again, back to my previous point, the yield to the investor, in this case, the society at large, the taxpayer, is really huge. And we really should reverse this decline that we've seen over decades now in the federal investment in research. I think we're underinvesting in research in almost every sector.
It is cool that we have produced some of the things that we have produced because of our overinvestment in military tech. But if we could even keep up 10% in non-military tech, I think we'd be a totally different country with a totally different economic future.
Overall, we're investing only about 1% of our gross domestic product in research. Other countries set a goal of 2 or 3%. They sometimes meet that goal, sometimes fall short. But we're far short of that.
Physicist and Democratic Congressman Rush Holt of New Jersey. Congressman Holt, it's always a real pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. You have insight on subjects like these that nobody else has. So thanks very much.
Can I watch the turkey trend now?
Yes, you can stick with us for the turkeys. Absolutely. All right. Still ahead, as promised, you and Rush Holt can watch local TV news coverage of the scourge of rampaging turkeys. Don't say I never gave you anything.